Hello, everyone. Kate from Whutsy here. And I know it's been a while, but I've gotten a lot of comments and people reaching out saying they need more information about setting up Printify and Etsy. If you haven't seen my previous two videos, this is kind of going to be like a part three to that series of videos. But you can also find probably little tidbits and helpful tips in here and answering some of those questions I saw in the comments. So the previous videos, we went from like the very basics, walked you through step by step. So in a way so that you can pretty much have me on your phone or iPad next to your computer screen and kind of go along with me and do all those steps. I haven't made this video because I've been so busy. Summertime, I actually work a real job and can't do these videos. I just don't have time for it. And then as soon as that ended, I actually had quite a really an amazing, beyond my wildest expectations, success over the holidays in my Etsy shop. So I can't wait to share all the great things I learned in 2022, from all those things I learned from the holiday season in 2021. So you can look forward to more videos, more live streams from me coming soon. In this video, I'm going to talk about so now you've created that listing in Printify, it's in your Etsy shop, it's ready to go, it's live. Now what? That's kind of what I was getting in the comments. It's like, okay, now what? I'm going to talk about what if I want to sell more of this same product, maybe just with a different design. Is there a shortcut process? You don't need to go through the whole step by step every time you create a product. So I'm going to talk about duplicating listings, when to use it, when to do it, and how to do it. And Printify is actually one of the really good print-on-demand companies that makes it easy for you to connect those listings. And it's in a different way than you probably would think logically. So I'll talk about that. I'm also going to talk about shipping profiles. So if we have lots of print-on-demand products coming in and every product has this shipping profile attached, how do we keep track of all this stuff? I'm just going to go over like the basics of kind of like condensing down those shipping profiles into a simpler way, the way I do it, and some tips for you to kind of take it and do it your own way that makes sense for you. I'm going to talk about orders. When you get an order and you have to fulfill it with Printify. And one of the things that I stressed in my previous videos is the importance of using personalization on Etsy to kind of get a good foothold in the door on Etsy and start making sales, because people love that personalization. So if you're making designs that have some aspect of personalization, you're going to have to go in and make those changes before you fulfill the order. So we'll talk about the best way to do that, the best workflow in Printify specifically. Remember, all these other print-on-demand companies, Printful and some of the others, they all have a totally different workflow. So I'm just going to be talking about Printify here. I'm going to talk about also sample orders quickly, how to do one of those, and maybe a little bit about Printify Premium at the end, and then say I'm a success or things are going well, or I have this other idea for an Etsy shop and I want to take that plunge into a second Etsy shop, which I recommend you don't do. And I'm going to kind of get into that in a minute. But I'll show you how to add a second Etsy shop, or if you do have a website for your shop, you can also connect your website in most cases to Printify as well. So we're going to talk about that. Okay, so that was a long intro, and I'm having you stare at my members only section of my website. If you haven't been to whutsy.com to try my pricing calculators, I walk you through how to use them, the best way to use them in the previous videos, especially for pricing, for print on demand, or even if you're making your own products, getting your pricing right. And I talk about how important that is, because with the offsite ads fee being quite a hefty fee on top of all the other fees you're already paying for, and that could kind of come in at any moment, we have to be prepared in our pricing for those fees. So There's a trial version of the calculator on the home page. You can try it out, see if you like it, and then you can sign up for $2.99 a month and get unlimited access to all my calculators. The most popular one that I use is the What Should I Sell My Listing For calculator. I use it for all my listings, and I can tell you no matter what, I'm profitable. No matter what happens, people using coupons, comes through an offsite ad, no matter what happens, I know I'm profitable because I'm using this calculator and I don't have to sweat it. When I got super busy and I just have orders plowing in, coming in, I know that on each of those orders, I'm at least making some money. And there's also some other calculators to kind of explore when you do become a member. And I'm just talking about this really briefly because I am going to be adding more content to the membership site. And right now it's $2.99 a month. And I'm planning on adding a bunch of content and really in-depth tutorial videos on taking product photos in the next month or two. And I'm going to really walk you through how to do that. Even if you just have a phone on your camera phone, or if you have a point and shoot camera, or if you actually have a DSLR camera, I'm going to go through all the steps to get really nice, beautiful product photos for your Etsy or on your website or wherever. And I'm going to put those in there. And anyone who's a member already is going to get that stuff. I might have to raise the fee after I put those videos up to see how much effort it is for me to do that, if it justifies me increasing the monthly fee. But anyone who's already a member gets access to that at that price forever, kind of locked in at that monthly price. So just letting you guys know. And then also over at the YouTube channel, if you're not a subscriber, think about hitting the subscribe button. I'm really close to 1,000 subscribers at the moment. I have 976, so I'd love to hit 1,000 subscribers. And that has just been really motivating me to make these videos, and I'll keep putting out great content for you guys. You know, as long as there's an audience out there, I'm happy to help. Okay, so let's get into the video after that really long intro, and I'm sorry for that. So I went into my Etsy shop for the Whutsy, and I hadn't logged in a long time, probably since the last time I made a video. And I had made a bunch of sales, not a bunch, 4 sales. And I thought it was really curious and interesting to see what happens when you don't fulfill orders. And that was pretty interesting. So I'll do a video about that in the future. But anyway, my shop's still open, amazingly. I got 2 bad reviews, and people can still buy from my shop, which really was shocking to me, even after literally doing nothing, not even logging in, which I've seen shops shut down for way less than that. So I was surprised to see it even was on and active. But I do have the shop really basically just so anyone watching the channel can go to the shop, see my listings, kind of like my template of how I do the listings, ideas of how to write a listing, and you'll see in the description, there's my toolkit for creating an Etsy listing, and I have lots of videos on going through those steps of getting your listing right. So that's why I have the shop, essentially. I'm not trying to really make sales here. It just happened I did. And there were a couple orders that I was able to fulfill. So those people, you are going to get your items. They are incredibly late, but they are on their way. All right. If anyone's out there that did that, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. And so first thing I'm going to talk about is we created a listing in my previous video through Printify. And I'm here logged into my store on Printify. So I logged in, I clicked on my store, and now I see the products that are in my store. So this is the wrapping paper we created in the previous video. I sent that listing to Etsy and published it. So we're going to see that here, the custom wrapping paper. I changed it to just 1 in stock. So if there's someone who actually buys it, it's just, I only sold 1. And what we're going to just use this hypothetical scenario, this wrapping paper. You know, I ordered a sample. I really love this wrapping paper, or I have a lot of wrapping paper design ideas. I don't know. I want to get in the wrapping paper business. And so I want to create a bunch of wrapping paper listings. I really like the photos I created. I really like the layout, the design, the everything, the videos and all this stuff that I did. So do I have to go through that process of making this listing every time? No, you don't. So what you're going to do, if we're going to make we made another wrapping paper design, and I'm ready to make a listing for that. What I can do is just go into the listing section in my shop manager and go down to copy. So we click copy, and now you can see it's taking me to the editing page, and it looks exactly like the listing I just had open, except for you'll see there's this copy here, and they can't make it smaller and more deceptive. It's just like this little copy to let you know that this is the copy. And believe me, I've made the mistake thinking I've hit copy and I've hit edit. I didn't pay attention to this little thing here, and I edited the whole thing, published, and then my original listing's gone, and I'm just kicking myself because it's not a copy. Now I have to go back and recreate that original listing. So one trick for this is to have a listing like this that you make a copy of, and then you just save it as a draft. And then you have this in your drafts folder. So now I can go over here to the listing status section, and I just click on the drafts, and now I see this. This is my draft. And what I can do is go in here, click edit, and just name it template or something like that at the beginning. So I don't accidentally publish this. I don't get confused. I know when I come back 6 months later into my shop, this is my template, okay? And you can see this is a draft. So I'm just going to save that with the template at the beginning. So now I know this is my template for my wrapping paper listings. So from here, I've got a new wrapping paper design. I went into Printify. You can easily just copy an existing wrapping paper that has because this listing we made in the previous videos, we have all the pricing we want. We went through and did the pricing. We went through and did everything that we wanted, the name, all the stuff to basically summarize what this listing is. So we can easily just copy this, upload a new design, and that's a new wrapping paper. Okay, so it could be the same Zodiac style wrapping paper, but just in a dark blue or something. Or it could be birthday wrapping paper or something Christmassy or whatever it is. That's how you can easily copy that. And now you're saying, well, okay, so I copied this, I made a new design. What do I do? Okay, so in Printify, we make a copy. I edited the design. I uploaded a brand new design. We're just going to pretend that this is an all new design. What I'm going to do here when I go into edit listing, which is the final step in my tutorials, change the title to a different title. All the pricing should be right. Just want to always check it. We uncheck the shipping profile. And why do we do that? Well, we already have a shipping profile for this. And actually, I'm not even going to publish this. I'm going to click Save as Draft. So it's not going to be even going into my Etsy shop, okay? There's no need to, right? Because I copied the listing here. So if I make a copy of this is my new listing. I created it in Printify so I could get the mock-up photos and put those into my listing, upload the new mock-up photos here. I went through how to do that on my previous tutorials about the mock-up photos. So you just save those mock-up photos, save those to your computer, edit them if you need to, upload them into your new copy. Okay. Then we go down here. None of this matters. We're just going to save as a draft. As long as the price is accurate as you want it, and the title is what you want it to be so that you can reference it. This does not have to match what is in Etsy because you can see here, these are hidden in store. I didn't publish these. They aren't technically connected to my Etsy shop. And that's because I want to control my listing editing on Etsy. I don't really want Printify pushing all their stuff because they don't have the tags. It doesn't have all the other information that I really need that's in my Etsy listing. So this is my copy. I'm going to go in. This will be my new custom wrapping paper. I'm going to make any adjustments to the listing. If the primary color is different, this one's blue. I've uploaded the new photos. I've gone in and made any other changes to the description that I need to. I go ahead and just change any of the tags that I need to. And if we're talking about Etsy tags, there's a lot of changes going on with Etsy search. So, as far as tags go, you really just want to be describing what the item is and what it can be used for, just for a basic summary of what you should be using for tags. And I went into that a little bit of detail in the previous videos, and I can talk about it more in other videos. So we're going to change the section if it's a different section of wrapping paper, any of the other things that we need to change. The SKU. Now that's a good point here. So this is the SKU from the original listing of the Constellation wallpaper. I don't necessarily need to have anything here. I could just delete these for the new wallpaper design. New wrapping paper design. Or if I wanted to be fancy, I could go in and get the SKU. Let's see, do they have it? And here it is. And I can't see the whole number, unfortunately. I'm not sure why. Is my screen not wide enough? Seems like that's not making a difference. So it's here. I don't know why I can't see it all. Might be just a weird feature with Safari. I don't usually use Safari. So it is here. I could just copy and paste that in here, but you don't need to have it. It's just it would automatically sync with Printify if you had the right SKU number. It would help pull that in, but you don't have to have it. It's not going to make a difference. It's not going to say you're never going to be able to find the product. It's just a nice reference number. And so I've gone in, I made all those changes and everything's ready, and I'm ready to publish the copy. So I'm not going to publish this because I don't need to have the copy. I'm just kind of walking you through what it would be like if I was going to make another wrapping paper listing. Now, you can see we made the new wrapping paper listing, and the next thing I want to talk about with that listing is shipping profiles. So when we originally published, I'll go back to my active listings, the wrapping paper listing, we had the shipping profile, and we created that by pushing in Printify the shipping profile. So I'm just going to go back, and I'm going to just delete this because we don't need this anymore. Okay, so when we originally created the personalized Zodiac wrapping paper and pushed it to my Etsy shop as a draft, we also had this button at the very bottom checked, said create new shipping profile. Okay, so I did that with the first time I created the wrapping paper. Any additional wrapping paper I create, I don't need to push the new shipping profile. I can always just save as a draft. So now that copy of the wrapping paper I made, I want it to have the same shipping profile, because I don't need to have 5,000 shipping profiles, one for each listing. This wrapping paper is coming from the same place, made by the same people, the same shipping costs are involved. So since I've already set up that original shipping profile, I can just do that with my other listing. So for example, in my template, this is why copying in Etsy is so effective. In my template that I made, it has already selected the Printify wrapping paper shipping profile that I made customized. And I know this shipping profile is the same one that's going to go with that other wrapping paper. And it's going to be the same one for my new wrapping paper. And it's named something that's easy for me to find and easy to select. Now, if I needed to make a different wrapping paper, I could go ahead in and duplicate the shipping profile, make the changes I needed to, or do a completely new one. You can see Printful does the same thing. They send in all the shipping profiles, Printful. But I've done Printful videos in other, or talked about Printful in other videos. I don't want to confuse the issue. So specifically with Printify, when you push it with your first product, now you have that shipping profile and you can use it for any duplicate listings. And that just saves time. Now, if I had pushed the new copied product, I copied, and instead of, I created a new listing, edited new design, and instead of doing save as draft, I click publish. I could just uncheck create new shipping profile, click publish, and now this listing I've created in Printify will show up in my store. Now I always like to do hide in store when publishing from Printify because I know that I'm going to need to make changes. But the thing is, when you do publish from Printify, I really try to do it as little as possible, simply because there's not a lot of information in here. You've got your title, description, some pictures, the price, and that's about it. You know, that's going to be what they pick. And there's lots of other data in the Etsy listing that's not in here. So it's really simpler to just create that template, copy, make sure the shipping profile matches, and then bring in those photos, mock-up photos or actual photos for the new product you've created. Change the title, make a few changes here, and then you're ready to go with your new listing. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. You know, this kind of video, it's more like talking about tech ideas and ways of doing things instead of just like step by step. This is how you do it, you know. So this is how I manage my listings with print on demand. If I had a wrapping paper shop, I would make this template, copy it as many times as needed, change the photos, change the title, and pretty much all that information's there. And I know all my listings are going to be fairly consistent. All right, so we talked about the shipping profiles issue in Printify. And then next thing I'm going to talk about is what happens when you get an order. So you actually got an order, and now we need to fulfill that in Printify. So we got an order in, let's just say hypothetically. I'm going to delete this again, just so it's not in the way. I got an order for the Zodiac wrapping paper. Now, I know this is a personalized item, so I need to make changes to the design before I fulfill it. Now, if we go back to, I think, the first video when we were setting up shop and connecting to Etsy, I always suggest putting your orders on hold so nothing gets automatically fulfilled if you're doing personalized. Now, if you're just doing designs and that person's just buying the design and that's that, they can't make any customization, then you can just have orders automatically fulfilled. But if you're going to be selling any personalized items whatsoever, even if it's just one in your shop, you want to have that automatically hold on your orders when you set up your account on Printify. Now, if you don't know how to do that, you can go back and watch that step-by-step video. But I know already that I have that hold on all orders that come in from Etsy on Printify, so nothing gets fulfilled unless I say, yes, fulfill this with a click. And that's very important with personalized orders. We don't want anything getting in the fulfillment process, because once that starts, you can't go back on these things. They are being sent to production, and that's that. You might get lucky and be able to cancel an order, but believe me, it's not easy. So it's better to just have everything on hold and go ahead and process those when you have everything ready. Now, how Printify works when I need to do personalization. I got an order in for the Zodiac wrapping paper. I need to customize it for that specific constellation and all that stuff. So I go ahead into my Canva design, make the changes to the design, download. Now what? I have my new design ready to go. What we're going to do is now we're going to copy the existing listing. We're going to copy that. And the first thing I do is I go into edit listing, and then I go ahead and get rid of this copy of, and then I do order number, whatever it is, right? I'm just doing random numbers there. That's not a real order number. If I have a website and I have Etsy shop, I might want to say this is on Etsy, just so that I know. Or if someone bought off my website, I could put website, just so that I know where that order came from in case I ever need to get back and reference it. And using the order number is the easiest way to find an order. If you need to hunt it down, someone contacts you through messages, or you thought you processed an order, you can't find it, or you see an order name and the shipping name doesn't match the person who ordered it name. Like there's lots of things that can be inconsistent, but with the order number, using that as a reference, it's a great way to, just save you a lot of headaches and time down the road. And you can always look up this order later with just a quick search. You have that order number, you can go back to Etsy, search that order number in Etsy orders, all kinds of stuff. If you need to search for an order, all you need to do is go to your orders and put in a search right there, and you can search and find any order. And so that's how I recommend doing it. You can put the order number at the beginning. You can get rid of the number sign, whatever you want to do it. But I just recommend you picking a way that you want the order number or the title to be. I recommend having it towards the beginning of the title, because once you start adding things to the end, it's hard to see it when you're in searching for things. So I recommend putting it at the beginning, but however you want to do it, organize it, that's fine. So that's the first thing I do, because I want to make sure that this copied order is, this copied design, this copied listing is attached to an order number in case the phone rings, whatever happens, distractions. And then when we go down here, none of this is important. We're just going to click Save as Draft. No need to publish this. You do not need to push this to your store. So now I'm going to go ahead and edit the design. This is where I'll upload that design I made in Canva or Photoshop or wherever I made the design. Upload the new design. And if, for example, there's 2 variants on this, I can go ahead into the prices and variants here in the top right corner. And let's say my customer ordered the 24 by 36. No need to make a 24 by 60 design. So I have that. And so that I made the changes to the design. I'm going to go ahead and click Save Product. Again, I uploaded my new design that this customer ordered, okay? I'm just using the same one just to expedite the process, but this is what you would do. Okay, so now this Etsy order matches this design. You really want to make sure that you do this correctly, and this Etsy order matches this design. Once you have that all set, you go ahead into orders up here in Printify up at the top. And look, there's no orders here. And yours might look a lot like this too. Say, well, where's the orders? I got an order for this wrapping paper. Where is it? And I know this is just a hypothetical that we're walking through, but still, this can happen. So I just want to walk you through what can happen here. If you've made a copy of a listing, like I showed you earlier in the video, where we went and made a template of the wrapping paper, I made a copy, I made a whole new design, brand new listing on Etsy. That's just a copy. I never told Printify, hey, you gotta fulfill this wrapping paper. But no worries. All we need to do is go ahead to other orders, and we'll see every order I've ever made on Etsy. And we're going to see here 4 orders. 2 of the people, your orders are on their way. 2 of the other people, I'm sorry. And what you need to do is simply find the order. You can see if you have hundreds and hundreds of orders, for example. This is where that order number comes in handy. So we can just copy and paste that order number from Etsy, put it in the search bar, and then that order will pop up. And once we've found that order, it's simple. You just click on it. And you'll see a screen like this. It'll have the customer name, shipping address. It pulls that title from Etsy. So what we're seeing here is the title of the Etsy listing this person purchased. And it says not imported. So all we need to do now is sync this to the product we just made for this order, and see we have our order number here again. So it's easy to reference. So that's our order number. And then we can do select product. And then if we have hundreds of products, we can again put the order number in here, because remember we put it in the title of the wrapping paper design. Often it's the most recent things you made on Printify are the top ones, but if you've got lots of orders coming in and you just batch making designs or whatever it is, it could get pushed down. So we could just paste our order number in here in the search bar, and then our order number that we just created the design for will pop up. We click on that. It might give us a few variants to select. So we make sure we selected the correct variant for this order. Yes, this is what that person ordered. And this whole time, I kind of like to work with two windows and have my Etsy orders on a second window and my Printify on another window, just to verify this stuff, because it's so easy if you get people who buy same person buying multiple items and they're doing different checkouts. People do crazy things on Etsy when they're shopping, buying on different days, bulk orders, whatever it is. It can get really confusing. So I like to make really like quadruple check that order number matches this name, what they wanted, any details they put in the personalization, whatever they wanted. And I want to really make sure that that's the right design, because once I fulfill, there's really no turning back. Like I said, so if you make a mistake, it's all happens to us. You can reach out to Printify help, but often it's too late. And sometimes the best thing they can do is just change the delivery address. Anyway, that's kind of going off on a tangent, but once we've selected the product, it gets us to confirm again that this is the right product. So we want to make sure that everything is right. And then we have the option to automatically import orders with this product variant. And this is up to you. Only thing that this does is it will bring it into that tab that had the Printify orders tab instead of the other orders tab. It's never going to automatically fulfill because we already did those correct settings. Now, if you've watched my previous videos, you set up the correct settings. If you didn't, I can't say, but if you follow the step-by-step in the previous videos for setting up your Printify shop for personalized items, then nothing's going to automatically get fulfilled. The only thing here, it's going to automatically import orders, and that's just going to pull it into that other tab for us. So in all honesty, this doesn't matter. Because you're always going to have some orders that don't end up in that tab. So you're always going to be going into that other orders tab. Doesn't matter. One less click, sure, but again, it really doesn't matter what you select on that when you're doing personalized orders, okay? So we've quadruple checked. We've made sure this is the right design for the right customer with the right order. And yes, we're going to confirm. Okay, and then we look again. This looks great. It says ready for import. And at this point, this is obviously not a real order for this person, and I don't want to send this person the, the wallpaper, but we would click import order at this point. And even when we do import order, that's not the last step in this whole process. So I really wish I could pretend to fulfill this, which I could do actually. So we're going to click import order. Again, giving us plenty of time to confirm to make sure that this is the right item. So now the order is imported successfully. Okay. So right now, the order is on hold. So if we go back, now we have this order on hold, okay? And this cannot, now once we refresh the page, we've gone back in. You can always just click the refresh button on your browser. Now you see this button that says fulfill order, okay? Only if I click that button will this order get produced. So that whole process I just did is just importing that order into Printify. I still need to say, yes, make this order, okay, before it will be sent into production. So if I just went on my way and didn't click that button, this will never get made, which is what I want, because I don't want to actually send this wrapping paper to this poor person. So that will happen. You just click fulfill order. Printify will charge your billing credit card that's on file, and the order will get into production and get made and then shipped to the customer. And that takes care of that. So in this example, I'm going to just go ahead back to show you now. If I go to my orders, you'll see I'm on my Printify orders tab. You'll see now this is in this Printify order section. So I imported it from the other orders section, and it's now in the Printify order section. And here I can click submit order. That would be the same effect as hitting the fulfill order button. So either way will work. And before I fulfill the order, I still have an opportunity to edit it. This person just messaged me, oh, I wanted to order another one, or this is a great example. Sometimes people order multiple things and they do it in separate orders. If you wanted to bundle them together and ship them all together, this is how you would do it. You would edit the order and add whatever else they wanted. And other things like that are ways to edit the orders. But for the most part, you just import it with the item you created, personalized, and then do fulfill order. Okay. So I hope that answers all those questions on how to fulfill the orders in Printify once you get in. So I just canceled that order so it doesn't get made. All right. So once you've fulfilled your orders, they will appear here, and any updates will be shown here. All right. So the next thing I was going to bring up was ordering sample orders. So you can see I'm on my orders page. There's also a button up here that says Get Samples. So you can click that, and now we're already into creating an order. So you can select whichever designs you want that you've already created in Printify. So the only things that will show up here are the products that you have in the My Store section of Printify. Okay, so any of these can be ordered for samples. And there's also the Get Samples button up here as well. And that'll just walk you through the order. Again, you have to pay for your samples. They aren't free. They do say here in this banner that with the Printify Premium plan, you get a free sample budget of $29. So that's essentially 1 month of Printify Premium is $29. So they're giving you $29 of free products for sample orders if you sign up for Printify Premium. If that's worth it to you to sign up for a month and test it out, go for it. It might be a great way to get samples. I haven't found that the products I sell in my shop, not the Whutsy shop, but in my other shop, that the amount of sales I use with Printify doesn't quite justify the monthly fee at this point for Printify Premium, but we can talk about that some more. So that's how you order samples. It's pretty easy. If there was a design that you haven't made yet, but you want to try it out as a sample, you'd have to go in and create a new product by clicking Add Product, make that design, and then save it as a draft in Printify. If you're not ready to send it to the Etsy shop, order the sample, and then once you've got the sample, you can send that to your Etsy shop if you're happy with it. So let's talk about Printify Premium for a minute. They offer discounts for $29 a month if you pay that monthly fee. And again, that's your $29 for a sample order if you sign up. So I don't know how long, if it's just 1 month you have to sign up for to get that $29 sample order. I don't know how that works, but that might be one way to get 1 month of it free and the sample order. Obviously, if you are selling multiple items, it might be good to just get samples of each one so you can do your own photos. And I'm going to do some tutorial videos on taking your own photos. And then they have a yearly plan. Billed annually, it adds up to just about $25 a month. And the discount examples, they show you some of the prices. Not all the items have a discount. There are some that it's pretty good and worth it. And then there's some where it's not really worth it. So, it's good to check into it because, to justify the savings, you would for mugs, for example, you'd have to sell quite a few mugs in a month to break even on it and then have it be worthwhile and profitable for you to have it. And over time, month to month, is it worth it every month or just a few months a year? That's something you have to kind of do your own research on an individual level to see if it's worth it. And if you sell a lot of items from Printify, so if you've got a store with a theme and you have it on mugs, you have it on tote bags, you have it on shower curtains, all kinds of items, and you're selling a lot of items that way, I think it would be worth it, depending on how much you actually use Printify for. If you're just, say you have an Etsy shop and you created a cool design and you decided you wanted to sell a mug and you're going to use Printify to fulfill it, just that one mug, it might not be worth signing up for the premium. All right, one of the other questions that I got in the comments was about if you have a second shop, how do you add that? And this could be an Etsy shop, it could be your website you could connect to and kind of go through a lot of the same process, because if an order comes in off of your website, it'll get pulled into Printify and you can sync those orders and fulfill them through Printify, just how I showed you. So what you want to do when you want to add a new shop is you just go right up to the top right-hand corner when you're logged in. There's a little drop-down menu here, and it says Manage My Stores. So you click on that, and then once you're in here, you can see there's a button here to do Add New Store. Easy as that, right? So if you have Shopify, second Etsy shop, they have Squarespace now, Wix, WooCommerce, BigCommerce, PrestaShop, an API connection for more advanced folks, eBay, and you can even create your store in Printify before you even have any kind of connection. So you can get that product catalog built up maybe while your website's getting built, or for some reason your Etsy shop was disconnected and you need to wait for it to be activated, or I don't know. There's lots of scenarios that you could possibly come up with to skip the store connection, or maybe if there's like a website platform that's not on here, Shopify, Squarespace, Wix, WooCommerce, which would be WordPress, are going to be the big ones where most people have their websites. So if it's not available here, they might be able to connect it with an API if you have a webmaster to help you with that. Or you can just do it manually by skipping a connection and just creating your store and then being able to fulfill the orders in Printify by importing your own orders, if that makes sense. Or even if you just sell in person, you could do skip store connection and create your store so you can fulfill orders on Printify, those manual orders coming in from selling at a craft show or something. Okay, so whichever one of these that you want to connect, all you do is click connect and that'll walk you through all the steps. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful today. I hope I answered a lot of those questions of what you're supposed to do after you've connected your shop to Printify and now you have made some sales, what to do with your orders, how to create new listings, duplicate listings, and the fact that when you create a duplicate listing template in Etsy, you don't have to worry about that directly connecting to Printify, since Printify will import all your orders here in the Other Orders tab. Okay, so your orders you'll always be able to find every Etsy order that comes in because my shop's connected. If there are any other questions that I didn't answer in this video, please let me know in the comments and I'll try and answer those. I'm also going to be doing maybe some Etsy news videos a couple times a week. We'll see how that goes. And I will be doing tutorials on taking photos, product photos, and I will be doing some more stuff for my members only. Will be a lot more in depth and some more information for those folks, for the people that use my pricing calculators. And if you need any help with the pricing calculators, let me know in the comments. But they will help you get a really good estimate at what you should be selling your listings for, so that you are profitable and not getting dinged when someone clicks through an offsite ad and you have to pay that additional 12 or 15% fee. Okay, or they do that and use a coupon. You want to make sure you're making money. Okay. And thanks again for tuning in. Please subscribe, give this video a like. It really helps me out. And I hope you have a fantastic day.